Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of AI Dev Series. My name is Bruno, and I will be doing the session today with Darragh from AWS. So, Darragh, welcome to the session.
Thank you, Bruno. I know it's a pleasure to be here.
It's always great to have you here. So, for everyone that has been following us, this is the second episode from with Darragh. So, it means that is coming up for another session, which is always a good sign. So, Darragh, what do you have to for us today?
Well, I don't. Do you want me to take over, or do you want me to just give you a preview? Yeah, we're going to look at some of the AWS AI services. Some of our models, OutSystems integration a little bit. We'll talk about some use cases, and we'll have a little recap of some of those other AI services that are also available as integrations in OutSystems, because the end-to-end use case is really important.
Great. I think we're going to have a great session. So my idea is you start with your services, and then in the end I can talk a little bit on the OutSystems part and do them. What do you think?
Yep, sounds like a plan. I'm really looking forward to this demo too, actually.
Great. So take it away, please.
Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. My name is Darragh O'Flanagan. I'm a partner solution architect at AWS. I've been at AWS for 5 years, and I have a background in development, systems architecture, and data and analytics. As mentioned already, today we'll talk about GenAI with AWS and OutSystems. And in the session, we'll see some of our GenAI offerings from AWS and how that relates to OutSystems and how those integrations are done. The focus will be a little bit on AWS models. We'll talk about our own models, integration, use cases, and those AI services that I mentioned before. So let's get started. This is a brief overview of the things we'll cover. We're going to look at our Amazon Bedrock, which is our flagship GenAI service. We'll look at our Titan models, and we'll dive in there to find out what that Titan family is all about. We'll look at also knowledge bases for Amazon Bedrock, what that is and what use case it facilitates. We have a couple of customer examples of customers who are using Amazon Bedrock in their services. And then we'll finalize with those end-to-end use cases and the other Amazon AI services. So before we start, how does it work? How can developers use AWS services with their OutSystems applications? And there are a couple of assumptions that we start with. You'll need to have a little bit of familiarity with OutSystems application development, and you'll see some of that when Bruno does the demo later. Have your own specific use case in mind. And this is kind of important because we're not here to show you what use cases you can pick and choose from. We kind of expect you to bring your own use case already. You will need an OutSystems account, and you will need an AWS account, and then there's a trick to join them, which Bruno may be able to show later on. Yeah, and that's it. That's really all the assumptions that there are before we get started. So Amazon Bedrock, what's Amazon Bedrock? Well, Bedrock, as I mentioned, is our flagship Gen AI service, and it's the easiest way to build and scale generative AI applications with foundation models. It's a fully managed service, so there are no servers to maintain or nothing to install, and you can get started really, really quickly. You can choose the right model for what you're trying to get done. So you choose the model for your own use case. And then you can customize that model with your own data privately. And what that means is that nothing feeds your data back to the base models. The base models are not fed with your data. And you then have the tools you need to combine the power of those foundation models with your own organization's data and to execute complex tasks. And we'll see some of that a little bit in some of the slides that come up. And then all of that is with the security, privacy, and the responsible AI safety that you need in order to put generative AI into production. And we've all seen some cases of where companies have put some generative AI things into production which were not optimal and wouldn't be called as safe as possible. So Amazon Bedrock, well, customers have told us that one of the most important features of Bedrock is how easy it makes it to experiment with, select, and combine a wide range of foundation models. It's still early days, and we're just getting started. Customers are moving fast, and at the same time, generative AI is evolving quickly with new options and innovations happening practically daily. And I've had to just edit this slide today in order to include Claude 3.5, just because the announcements come quick and fast, and this one come earlier this week. Customers need to be able to experiment, deploy, iterate, and pivot quickly. And they want to be able to choose the latest and greatest foundation models, but be ready to immediately embrace whatever comes tomorrow. And that's why we've made we made Bedrock as easy as an API call. And today it provides access to a wide range of models, as you can see here, like from A21 Labs, Anthropic, Cohere, Meta, Stability AI, and we also have our own Amazon Titan family of models, which we have to talk about since they are our own models. So how does the integration work? Well, in detail, we'll see a little bit later on. But the OutSystems Amazon Bedrock connector, it currently offers a subset of the models that Amazon offers, but that shouldn't restrict the breadth of the use cases that can be implemented. Bruno will do that deep dive, and we'll see how that works in the next section. Some of the models that are available are, as you can see, Anthropic here with multimodal reasoning, image-to-text vision capabilities, translation, summarization, writing, and coding. And if you want to do high-quality images and art generation, Stability AI is available. And then the Amazon Titan family is available for summarization, image, and text generation, and for also search and questions and answers. So let's talk a little bit about these Titan models that I've been talking about. The Titan models are created and pre-trained by AWS, and building our own models lets us bring a few benefits to customers. First of all, we do have some expertise here. Amazon has been, a 25-year track record of machine learning and artificial intelligence, and we use this throughout all of our business. And we've learned a lot about building and deploying models at scale. The second is we can provide a range of models that offer powerful capabilities with great economics to support a variety of use cases. And economics is an important thing because you need the models to perform, but also to perform economically. And then finally, some people asked us, do you stand behind your models? And the answer to this is yes. And we will indemnify you against claims that our models or outputs infringe on any third-party intellectual property rights. And this is also an important consideration for many businesses as they put these generative AI services into production. So what is this Titan Foundation model family? Well, as you can see here, there's a number of different models. And each model has its own unique strengths and characteristics, capabilities, and its own price and performance. Today, we have Titan Text Lite, which is ideal for text-based tasks like summarization. We have Text Express, which is great for more advanced general language tasks like copywriting. And we also have Titan Text Embeddings or multimodal embeddings for search use cases, personalization, or recommendations. And of course, we also have our own image generator, the Titan Image Generator, and this produces photorealistic images based on text prompts. So this is the introduction to the Amazon family of Titan Foundation models, and it's something that you should be careful about choosing the right one for your use case. Another key use case for businesses can be to provide domain-specific answers to queries, and that's why I wanted to talk about knowledge bases for Amazon Bedrock. So to equip the foundation model with up-to-date proprietary information, organizations use something called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. And that's a technique that fetches data from company data sources and enriches the prompt with that data to deliver more relevant and accurate responses. So knowledge bases for Amazon Bedrock is a fully managed RAG capability that allows you to customize those foundation model responses with contextual and relevant company data. It automates the end-to-end RAG workflow, including the ingestion, retrieval, prompt augmentation, and eliminates the need for you to write custom code to glue or integrate those data sources or to manage those queries yourselves. So it hides a lot of the complexity when it comes to implementing RAG. Session context management is built in so that your app can support multi-turn or multi-shot conversations. So it will remember the context, and then you can move on to the next, and you can improve on that concept. And all of the information that's retrieved from these knowledge bases comes with source citations to improve transparency and minimize hallucinations. So let's take a little look at some customer examples. Adidas have accelerated development of their conversational AI assistant, and this provides their engineers with unified access to their knowledge bases and their support. The use case here is to find information and answers from the knowledge base to a single conversational interface, and they've been using Amazon Bedrock to do this. Booking.com are also using Amazon Bedrock to help their customers, as they call it, experience a new world of travel. And the use case here is to return novel suggestions based on loose parameters that involve that customers haven't even considered yet. And this is a case which involves some fine-tuning of the model, but we won't go into what fine-tuning is here, although fine-tuning is fully possible through all of the Amazon Bedrock models. So how does it work for end-to-end use cases? Well, GenAI is usually part of a larger use case, which involves multiple components. And in a previous session, we dived into these components, but it's also worth calling them out here again. You can see the previous session in the playlist here, and there'll probably be some links in the description below. So this year, OutSystems team has done incredible work managing components that are available to developers. These are some of the integrations that have the OutSystems supported badge, and they're available from the Forge for developers to take advantage of. As you can see, there are base services like storage with Amazon S3 and notification services, but also some super interesting services around text-to-speech and translate. The list of components continues to grow, and we expect even more services to be added to this list in 2024. And when you look at these services here, you can imagine that by stitching them together, you might be able to create something that transcribes some speech, then it translates it, and then it prepares it for input to GenAI. And then when the output comes again, you might decide to translate it back into the original language. And as you can see, you can manage to do some really powerful use cases with that, and an overall solution where GenAI is part of it, and then you've got these other AI services surrounding in order to complete the workflow. All of these components combined with Amazon Bedrock can be put together with OutSystems to create powerful end-to-end solutions. So as our CTO at AWS, Werner Vogels, likes to say, now go build. And of course, we're here to help you, so please feel free to reach out at any time. And so now I'll hand you over to Bruno for a demo of how to use maybe Amazon Bedrock and a Claude 3, I believe, hopefully with OutSystems.
It will be. Thank you, Darragh. Thank you for your presentation. It's really interesting to see the different services that exist and that we can connect, to build something that we couldn't imagine a few years ago. Today, what I will show is a use of one of these connectors. Hope it will inspire people with this example. I have to say, when I started with the idea, I had no idea if this was going to work, but it turned out really great. I think you also find it. Let me see if I have the ability to show it. I will talk a little bit about the connector. Okay, so the AWS Bedrock runtime connector. Also about how do you set up. So what do you need to configure in order to have this up and running, and then of course the hands-on demo. Now, before everything else, I want to tell you that I'm going to use the AWS Bedrock runtime component that is on Forge. So I have to give here a major shout out to Stefan, our OutSystems MVP from Germany that built this component. So he's also a community builder in AWS. So he brings together these two worlds and this component. So he can build a component way better than I could build any component. So the one that I will showcase today, it's his component. Now, we will focus on a subs like Darragh was saying. There's there's a lot of different services. We will focus on one of the components of the services. We have here a list of what components are available in this connector, and what we will be checking today is this one. We're going to use Claude model for our demo, and I want to go through this action, and I want to just to go through the input parameters and the output parameters so we can understand what's need to be filled. First things first, it's the credentials. So you need to have your credentials set up on AWS to use this service on the OutSystems side. So you need an access key. You also need a secret access key. There's an optional if instead you can have a session token, and then you need the region. I will show on the setup part where you can find this information when you have access to the AWS console. Now that you have all the authorization information, you need to define what would be the model. So I will show also where you can check the model and how to choose the model. And then you send the request. The request has a version, so the version is important because of the structure of the request that will be done to the server. Now we have the maximum number of tokens, so this can limit the amount of information that you can pass and receive to these AI models. By the way, if you are not aware, models are charged by the number of by the usage, so the number of tokens is important when we're talking about the cost of calling the models. And then we send to the request, in the request, the messages. So messages are an array of messages, where in each message you can set up the role. The role is where you define if what you are sending is being said or done by the user or by the assistant. To get a reply, for example, to hello, all you need to do is on the message, send on the role user, and the content, in this case, content can vary, can be text or image, but for the case of text, you will select text as the type, and then you send the content. So in the case I was saying hello, you just need to send that sentence in the field here, the text field. I will show this on Service Studio so it's more clear, but you just need to send it there. Now, something that is really powerful is that you can not only send image text, but you can also send images to the model, for the model to interpret. In this case, the type that we will send will be called image. Now you have the type of image. The way we are connecting with this service is to sending the image in base 64 format. Then the media type, if it is a PNG or a JPEG. And last but not least, we need to send the data. So the file with the data encoded in base 64. There are some limits, okay? So the max image size is 3.75 mega. And also the amount of pixels, it also needs to be limited because of the load that this will cause on the model. Now, with this being said, in part of the messages, we also have some more parameters that we can configure, like the system prompt. So it's where we can say you are a helpful assistant, or we can give the scope of the assistant. So just to covering up a little bit of what we'll be talking about, a math tutor, for example. We can send the temperature, so it's the amount of randomness that we can accept in the response. And then we have some regular input parameters in this kind of models, like the top P, the top K, and also the stop sequence. So information that will send to the model, so the model can stop generating more tokens in the answers. Now, this is the request. Now on the result, we will get the model with the information of the model ID. The type of response, in this case, it's going to be a message. We are going to get the role. So the role, it will be the assistant, because user, it's the person that's the entity that is querying the model, and the assistant is the response from the model. We have the stop reason, just to understand if we ended in the normal way or if it stopped because it exceeded the maximum values of tokens or got the stop sequence. And what was the stop sequence that was used, and then the content. So the type of text, in this case, it's only returning text, and the text of that content, okay? Also, very important for managing how much are we using, or even the costs in the future. So whenever we call one of this action, we will receive the information of the usage regarding the amount of input tokens and the output tokens. The input tokens are the ones that you consume to send your request to the model, and the output are the tokens that are spent when the answer with the size of the answer. And with this being said, we only need to talk about the last parameters output. That is a very useful Boolean that is true if it is successful, and in case it's not success, we will receive the error message. Now, jumping to the connector setup. So you need to get some AWS credentials. You need to get the region, the access key, and the secret access key. You can check if the services that you want to use, if they are available in the region. That is very important, because or else you won't be able to connect to that service. And we can check on the console what is the region that you're using, so you can find the region where you have instantiated your model. And also on the AWS console, you can find your access key and also your secret. Now, something to be aware, if you're creating this from scratch, you will only have access once to the secret key, okay? Because then it won't be shown anymore. So if necessary, you need to, if you forgot or if you don't store it in a safe place, you will need to probably create another one and revoke this one. Now, what we need also is to get the foundation model that we're going to use. So this is going to be on AWS Bedrock. So you need to get that information from there. And there's a model ID that we're going to use, and this is part of one of the input parameters that we have in the component. So with everything being set up, I've done this, of course, previously from this session, so I can just demo it. It's now time, to show you on a demo what are we going to build today. What we will be doing is something that some time ago it seemed that would be only in our imagination, but we are going to be able to create a smart, or not so smart, let's see, a math tutor that will allow us, to write and use a canvas. Imagine that we want to solve any geometry problems, for example, and then we can use these models to help us solve the problem. Okay, after we draw what we want to, what is the problem to solve. Okay, so let's go to Service Studio. Okay, I have here the math tutor application. I built this as a tablet application because a tablet seems to be the correct or the appropriate form factor for this use case. And I have two columns here. So on the left, I will create the canvas where you can draw, and on the right, we will get the assistance from our smart math tutor. What I will need to do first is I need to search here for my drawing canvas. I will just drag and drop it here to the UI. Okay, there's a lot of things here that I don't need. Let me start removing those. So I don't need all of these here. Maybe I should keep probably text. I think it makes sense. Also, geometry shapes will be also helpful. So let me just give here a really quick change in here. So this looks a little bit better. Okay, we will have this bar. we won't need any of this context menu, so let's just remove this. Okay, so this will draw or this will generate a canvas that we can draw. And now on the element itself of the drawing canvas, let's just set up here some of the input parameters. So the canvas ID, let's call it a very original name, canvas. I believe no one was expecting this. Width and height, let's leave it as it is. Background color, so let's have a background color of white. Okay, so the X code for this, it's FFF. Okay, image URL we don't need. Feed, no, nothing else here needs to be used right now. Okay, so now I have configured here my canvas where I will be able to draw. So after that, what I need is to create a way to send my image to our AI model to see if the AI model can help me, the GenAI model can help me answering the question. So let me just drag and drop here a container. Okay, in this, let's just give it a margin here so it has space to breathe, so margin top base. Okay, and let's add here a loading button. So the loading button will allow us to not only call the server action, but also, create a spinner while it is calling to the action to the server, so you're not, clicking all the time impatience for the answer. This will require me to create here a Boolean to control this. So is loading, okay, also an original name. Is loading. Now it's going to be attached to this variable. And what I want to do also here is, let me just show label on loading. Yes, I want extended class. Let's just, fill width. It's not fill, it's probably full. Yes, it's full width. And on the text, let's say something like help me solve this problem. Okay, now when I double click my button, I need to create some logic for this. Okay, so the first thing that I need is to get the image from the canvas, right? So if we check here on our on this library, we have the get canvas image client action. So let's drag and drop it to here. And the canvas ID, if you still remember the original name I gave to the canvas, it's going to be called canvas, right? So with this, I will now have the image not only in binary, but in base 64. That luckily it's what we need to send to our AI model in Bedrock. So I'm going to create now a server action because now I have the image and I want to send this to the server. I'm going to create here a server action and I'm going to call it get solution. And on the get solution, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Claude 3. This is Claude 3 action. Okay, so let's start filling all of these. So mandatory, like you've seen, I have this on site properties. So I have my AWS access key. On the secret access key, I also have this on my site properties, secret access key. And well, section token, I won't use it. I also have my region, AWS region, okay. And okay, let's start filling the other parameters. So we need the model. On the model, let me just go to my Bedrock instance here, and we will use the model like you've seen from Anthropic, the Claude, and you have here the different Claude models. So I'm going to use the Haiku model. So it's one of the fastest and most compact models. So I will do this one for this demo, okay? And as you can see here in the example, I have here the model definition that I will be using here. So on the model, I will be using this one. Now let's fill the request, okay? So on the max tokens, let's use 1,000. I have no problem using 1,000 tokens. on the messages, let's start with sending the message. So in this case, I as a person am asking the model to help me. So my role is the user role, and the content in this case will be, first of all, will be a text component. Now I'm going to say here, the type will be text, right? And my message to the model in terms of text will be help solving. Let me open this a little bigger so you can probably see. Help solving this problem, explain the steps, and return the result in a maximum, so we don't get a really big response, maximum of, let's say, 100 words. Okay, so this is the message that we're going to send to the model. But not only this, I'm also going to send the image. Okay, so the type here will be image. Okay, so the type, as you can see, it can be image or text. Okay, and in this case, I'm not going to fill the text. I'm going to fill the source. So the type here will be base64, because I'm going to send the image in this format. Oops, 64, not 60, 64. The media type, so that drawing canvas will give me a PNG, so it's a PNG, and the data will come from my input parameter that I will call image base 64, and this will be text because base 64 is already encoded to text. So let's go back here, and on the data, let's put the image base 64. Now almost everything is set up. Let's just say for the system, it's the prompt that we say. So it's saying you are a friendly, because no one wants an unfriendly math tutor. Okay, so now everything is set up, and all we need to do is to return the answer. Answer is a type of text, right? It is. So let's just come here and set the answer. Now, looking at the response from the model, I'll get the result, I'll get the content on the current, and I'll use the text. Okay, well, maybe if I was following best practices, I should search if I had success, and if not, but it's a demo, so please bear with me. Now that I have this action here created, let's use it. Going back here to the help me solve this problem, right? So I'm going to get the image from the canvas, from the image from the canvas, and I'm going to call my get solution. Okay, now on the get solution, I'm going to send the base 64 that I got from this action. Before that, let's just do something. If I have the loading, let's set is loading to true. Okay, because now it will probably take a little bit of time, because we're going to send the image to the server is going to process, it's going to run the model, and it's going to give the answer back. Almost done. All I need now is to show the solution in the screen. So let's go here again to our screen, and here on the left, let's put here the solution. And the solution, let me just enclose this in a container and just style it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to say that this is adding, I don't know, 4 maybe. Yeah, seems good enough. I'm going to add also here a new, a loading spinner. Okay, so I'm just going to call this the list updating. Okay, it's going to be shown. Now, when will this be visible? Not always. It's going to be when it is loading. Okay, and last but not least, I need to show, let's create a variable here to show our solution, right? It's text, and I'm just going to quickly drag and drop it here, and just close it in a container, and let's margin top. I'm always, giving margin top base so it can breathe. And maybe I can do something like the text no, not the text, the font can be semi-bold so we can easily read it. Okay, almost done. Let's go back here to our action. Let's set solution to the answer that we get from the solution. And after that, all we need to do is the set is loading to false. Okay. So let's just check to see if I'm forgetting anything. So I'm on my home. I'm just gonna click my button. I'm gonna get the canvas image from the canvas, set the loading. I'm going to get the solution. The solution will call my Claude model. It will, just me check if I'm seeing the right model. It is. I'm going to get my answer back. Then I'm going back to setting the solution variable and removing the loading. Okay. Seems like this is it, right? So let me just publish it. So we will build the solution, right? And as you might notice, I'm using a canvas, and the canvas, it has some different shapes that I can use. One of them is the freehand. Okay, so let's open this here. So I'm going to risk a little bit. Not only I'm risking encoding this, but I'm also, going to use this in order to, freehand design here a problem. So let's go for a geometry problem. Okay, so I think this is a classic problem. Let me just use the freehand here, and let's see how I'm going to be able to draw it. So you got this shape, right? Whoops. Let's see if the model recognizes this. And oh, it doesn't. It's a in English it's a rectangle. It has 90 degrees here, right? So in here, let me just add this, or else with my writing, no one will understand. This size as 1, right? And this size here also as 1. And what we don't know is what's in here, right? Now, let's see what happens. Let's just click in here and help solving my problem. So we're getting the image from the canvas. We're sending this. And let's see what is, okay, the triangle is a base. Oh, it's the area. So from my draw, what the model understood is that I was looking for the area of this, and I'm not actually for the area. I'm just looking for this here. So let me just try again. Although it's a good explanation to get the area. Let's go here and let's use this so it can get a little bit better the design.
Proves it's live, Bruno.
Yes, it is. So let me just do like this, and now I'm going to say that this size here, it's 1. This size a little bit better than my drawing, I believe. It's this one, and this here is the question mark. Okay, let's see if the model is going to understand. Oh, okay, here it is. So it understood my question, my problem, and it returned an answer with a solution saying that I should use the Pythagorean theorem, explains to me, and actually explains how do I get the result for this. So I have to say that this is something that wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't say years. I think not that far, right? But it's really powerful what you can do with GenAI with these kind of models. And if you have an application built in OutSystems, it's really integrate using this kind of connectors. Darragh, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's super impressive, how easy it is to do that, and to be able to plug the other things in and to develop end-to-end solutions. I mean, yeah, you mentioned it earlier on. You can do some really powerful things. I mean, it is amazing that how quickly you can put something together like that. Yeah, and every day it's getting better, so it's a little bit frightening too, I suppose.
Yes, we're always like you said. So you had to update your slides because we have now a new model, right?
Yeah,
so our new models coming out.
Yeah. Claude 3.5. Who knows what it will be next week? So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the demo is done. I think we can have this time to check if we have any questions on this chat. I don't know if we have or not. Probably, let me just try to give a look at it. Let's see what happens. I don't think we have any questions. Yeah. So it means that we have been perfectly clear, right?
Yeah.
So there, I think I want to take this opportunity to once again thank you so much for your participation and for your help preparing this.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure, Bruno. Yeah, and hopefully hopefully we'll catch up again soon.
Yes. So this is the episode 5. We don't have any more episodes planned so far, but hopefully we can. When something new comes out, maybe we can set up a new session, right?
Yep. We can always plan to have another one.
Great. So for all of you that are following us, don't forget to check the playlist. We have now 5 episodes there that you can check. So how to use our AI components to inspire you to improve your applications. Thank you for watching us and hope you all have a great day. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye, Darragh. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
1, go. Game over.